Wow, what a wrap-up of the year from the political angle. But I'm sure that for a lot of people, especially in sales, you're wrapping up your numbers for the year and there's a lot of questions. For some people, they're smiling, and for others, there isn't. If you aren't smiling, don't you worry, we've got you covered. Today, we're going to be talking about the Sales Warrior Convention of 2023. A very good morning and welcome to NBS TV. Kitui Flo is my name, and I'm hoping to get your week started and your day started in a bright and beautiful way. Joining me on the show to talk about the Sales Warrior Convention 2023 to help you with your numbers is an international sales keynote speaker, a sales consultant, and author, commonly known as the Sales Warrior. In his book, Become a Sales Superstar and Dominate Your Market, he writes, if you cannot sell yourself, you cannot sell anything. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Daniel Choudry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kitui. Good morning, everybody. So glad that you have tuned in to watch the morning breakfast.
Absolutely. So, there's a quote that I'd like to start with by Chinonso Ogbogu, familiar name, where
Yes,
he calls you
friend.
a dominant sales ninja and advocate on the continent of Africa. You call yourself a sales warrior.
Yeah.
Let's start by asking, what does it mean to be a sales warrior?
So the sales warrior, for me, it's a mindset. Selling requires you to go to the marketplace every single day to convince, people, to talk to them, make sure that they enroll to your school of thought. It's not very easy. And when you see a lot of sales people, they go out there to sell. When they get rejections one time, they get rejections two times. Many of them, they fall back.
Absolutely.
So the sales warrior doesn't fall back. The sales warrior keeps on pushing, finding new dimensions, new angles of how I can be able to approach people and make sure that I enroll them to my school of thought. Okay. So when the sales warrior is on the street, he gets things done. When Daniel Choudry is at home, he's a very calm gentleman. So I always send the sales warrior.
That's a very good distinction between the two people. Now, for many people, we all know that sales is a very complicated field. Just like you said, there's disappointments, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and they do go wrong. Why sales? Why would you choose sales?
So my story in sales started in 2007. I was looking for an extra money to top my tuition. And I was at Makerere University Business School. And the director for Entrepreneurship Center told me, if you can be able to sell our short courses, we'll be able to, give you some bit of money. And that's when my journey started. I remember every single day I was making about 100 phone calls, 120 phone calls to sell certificate in bookkeeping, certificate in customer care. And in about 2 weeks' time, I was able to bring about 198 people to do one of the course, certificate in bookkeeping, and about another 150 to do another course, certificate in customer service. So the director of the center told me, you know what, Daniel, don't leave sales. You're so good at it, and I think you'll be able to do great in that field. So since then, I've never looked back. But again, let's also think about it. Sales is the lifeblood of business.
Absolutely.
If you're not selling as a business person, your business is definitely going to be in trouble. Cash flow is king. And it's very important that as a business person, be it a corporate business, be it an SME, be it a startup that is just about to begin, if you don't have that aspect of sales figured out, then chances are very high that you're not going to last in business for long. So that's why sales.
Okay. Now, the way you speak, the way you communicate, just like you said now, somebody saw you and said, he's really good at it. Someone could argue and say, that's just something that's inborn. For example, to be a proper salesperson, you have to have charm and things like this. Is sales inborn, or can it be made? Can a salesperson be made, or do they have to be born a salesperson?
Kitui, that's a very good question. And I've heard so many people ask that question before. And for me, the answer is a yes and a no.
Okay.
There are some people who are just born with that natural finesse, that charm, that charisma, that conversational depth. And then I would say those people, yes, you may be able to be very conversational in your approach, but if you don't train regularly on a daily basis, then you become obsolete. But again, also there are those of us, people like myself, who grew up having esteem issues. But along the way, we kept on learning, we kept on reading books, seeking mentors out, going for trainings like the Sales Warriors Convention that is coming up. And you can train yourself to become really, really good at something. So yes, it helps if you have that natural finesse of, having a conversation with people and you have that absolute confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
But then you also have to keep on training every single day, get a mentor, get a coach, attend trainings, read as many books as possible, like probably my book, Become a Sales Superstar and Dominate Your Market. So it's important that even when you have natural talent, you train. I want to give us an analogy of football. Now, Lionel Messi is a very talented footballer. But then these footballers, every single day, they train. They have a coach that tells them, kick the ball like this. This is how you exercise. This is how you tune yourself mentally, physically, to be able to be that person. When you go to the football pitch, you dazzle people like Lionel Messi does. So it's very important that even when you have the natural talent, you still have to train regularly, have somebody who guides you like a coach, and attend as many trainings as possible. And that makes you an absolute warrior in sales.
Wonderful. I've got my own version of the book, my own copy, and I'm going to be getting into that. And hopefully it will make me an even bigger sales warrior myself.
Without a question.
But let's talk about circumstances, especially the last 2 years, 2020, 2021, we had a pandemic. And because of that, a lot of businesses struggled. Come to 2022, we hit an economic slump. Again, more struggling for a lot of businesses, and they've not been able to sell. How can these, whether corporate companies or SMEs, how can they get more? How can they get the best out of their salespeople in the new year, in 2023?
That's another great question, Kitui. So, sales, I want to talk to all the head of sales, head of businesses that are watching this show right now. The salesperson walks through a journey. There's a life cycle for sales. There are people, when you recruit them for the first time, I call them salespeople who are at existence. A salesperson who is at existence level, it's very important that you onboard them to the culture of the organization. You give them a clear directives and as far as what solution you're solving in the marketplace is concerned. Now, a salesperson at existence level, they will probably perform about 30%, 20%, 30% of target in terms of monthly targets. And you don't expect so much from a salesperson at existence. What you need to do as a business owner is go with this salesperson to the field. Or if you're head of sales, go with them to the field. Let them watch you have this conversation with your potential customers. But also help them, show them who is my ideal customer. Who is that person who my solution takes care of their need. So it's important that you help them along that line when a salesperson is at existence. From existence, they move to survival. A salesperson who is at survival, they know what to do. They understand the products and the services and the solution you're offering in the marketplace. However, they are not yet fully well conversant with everything.
And this is a basic understanding of the industry that you're in?
Yes, it's a basic understanding of everybody, be it every industry, be it banking, be it insurance, be it manufacturing. You need to understand that you need to walk your salespeople through the life cycle. At survival, they are doing about 50% to 65% to 75%, maximum about 85%. Now, this salesperson actually know what to do, but unfortunately, they're not putting in absolute effort. They're not putting in all their effort. Now, they need a lot of coaching. They need a lot of mentorship. They need a lot of performance management conversations to ensure that you take them from survival to a success. Because the salesperson who is at survival, if you're not careful, they're bringing money. It's difficult to fire them. It's difficult to say you're not performing. They're doing something. They're bringing you money, enough to pay their salaries or maybe their retainer and things like that. But you need to push them a little further in terms of this aggressive, good performance management conversation. Now, from survival, they go to success.
Oh, great.
Now, a salesperson who is at success is doing about 100% of target. And this person, they know what to do. They're driven, they're so fired up and ready to go, and they're doing the absolute best. They understand the marketplace dynamics, they understand the products, and they're also helping you to augment and build your solutions better for the kind of marketplace that you're serving. Now, from success, they now go to thriving. At thriving, this salesperson is unstoppable. What you can do as a business owner is to ensure that you help them sustain there. a lot of motivational things. Maybe, you know, there is a trip here for performing targets. There is a bonus there. There's
Over
a few
and above.
things. Yeah, you just have to ensure that you keep them because you don't want to lose a salesperson like that. So I think one of the challenges that a lot of businesses are facing in this country is that most of the salespeople are in survival. They're doing between 50% to 85%.
They're breaking even.
Yes, they're not even breaking even, but they're bringing you enough money to stay in the game. Now, unfortunately, majority of industries, be it banking, be it media, be it, you know, manufacturing, most of the salespeople are at survival. And these business owners and sales leaders are wondering, how do we get this person to success? How do we get this person to thriving? Well, part of it is coaching, training. Part of it is the Sales Warriors convention, sending them to attend would really help a lot. So for me, that's a very important thing. That even when the economy is tough, when your salespeople are solid, they know what to do, then they should be able to perform. On the other side of it, as a business owner, you need to have a good sales strategy. Because you may have a great salesperson, but with the wrong strategy, they can only do so much. Yeah, you need to have a good sales strategy, but at the same time, you need to have a good recruitment platform. Roles and structures must be defined. Key result areas must be very clear, because a lot of businesses, they bring a salesperson and like, okay, this is the product we sell, now go to the field and sell. There's no clear structures, there's no clear roles of how this person is supposed to go out in the marketplace and succeed. So it's important that as a business owner as well, you define the roles, you define the structures of operation. And the third one is continuously train your people. Somebody said, but I train them and they leave. And then another one said that, what if you don't train them and they stay? You know, who has a better advantage?
What's the bigger risk?
Yes, what is the bigger risk? So it's important that you continuously train your people, show them the culture of high performance, and that's very key. And then the fourth area is the activities. Every single day you have to augment and keep on refining what sales activities need to be done in terms of pipeline development, in terms of maybe ideal customer profiling. Every single day, maybe making phone calls, going for appointments, follow-ups, and all these kind of things. Make sure you refine those activities, because if the activities are not clear, then most salespeople are just faking it until they make it. And that strategy never works. Now, the fifth section of it is understand that the needs of the customers in the marketplace change. Every single day, these customers, you know, we live in a world of uninformed buyer. Every single day they're, you know, pumped with a lot of information about the different things that probably you sell. So it's important you understand, are the needs of the buyer changing? What are the buyer behaviors? How can we be able to align our conversation to meet the interests of the buyer out there? So it's important you understand their needs, understand their conversational style, understand their buying style, so that you keep on informing your salespeople on how they can be able to go about sales. And lastly, the revenue target. That a great sales organization has targets, robust targets, achievable targets, but a stretching targets as well. When you have that, then you have an effective sales performance drivers that can get your salespeople to perform. I hope I've been able to answer that in a much more deeper way.
Very good detail right there. And it brings the thought to mind. You've talked about having effective salespeople.
Yeah.
But before you get to the effective salespeople, you have to be able to headhunt or to know the right salespeople.
Yeah.
What would you say are things to look out for to say this would be an effective salesperson?
So I always tell folks, different, you know, sales leaders and folks who are recruiting salespeople. In my office at the Sales Institute, we recruit for personality and we train for skill. Now it's very important that you have somebody who is personable, somebody who is confident in their own self-identity. That's the first. Usually I take some of these folks that I recruit in my organization for a breakfast conversation. I want you to have a chat with me for about an hour. If you cannot sustain a good conversation with me for about an hour, then how can I trust you to go and have a conversation with my potential customer?
Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult. So I know sometimes you want to recruit based on papers. This person has a first-class degree, a second-class upper, and things like that. But listen, there are people who are in past degrees and in the middle there of second-class lower who have very good personalities. They have very good conversational depth. They're very confident in themselves, that you may miss out if you take the academic, you know, qualifications angle of recruitment. So recruit for personality, train on skill. And when it comes to skill, there are these three things that you have to be training them on. The first one is attitude. You need to make your people have very strong attitude. How is their mindset? Are they reading on a daily basis? Do they have a mentor or a coach? Are they doing something to intentionally keep their mind? I call it bulletproof mentality. Somebody who is not just hit hard by a negative no, and then all of a sudden that day is done. So mindset is critical. Secondly, art set. Are they emotionally present in the work? Do they love what they're doing? So that's still part of attitude, right?
Absolutely.
That the art set is very important. If somebody doesn't love what they're doing, no matter how smart they are, chances are very hard that they will just be mechanizing it. There is no rhythm, there is no coherence. And a great salesperson,
a lack of dedication.
Yes, must have dedication and coherence in the way they do the work. The third one is the health set. Are they physically attuned for the work of sales? Sales takes you away from the office to the street. And sometimes the street is dusty, sometimes the street has very mean people, sometimes the street is just rough.
It means staircases.
So yeah, you have to be physically ready to
Yeah.
do that. Personally, I'm a physical exercise freak. I run 21 kilometers every Saturday, 10 kilometers every Tuesdays, every Thursdays I'm running. Why? Because I want to be attuned and ready for the physical exertions that sales requires. So let them be physically attuned. And then the last one is soul set. Do they pray? That's soul set. Spirituality is very important in the life of a salesperson, because you know it's not just about you, it's about God too. That every single day you dedicate your work to God, and God will be able to help to springboard you to the next level. So in terms of attitude, those four sets, the mindset, the heart set, the health set, and the soul set, is very critical for the life of a great salesperson. Then when the attitude is good, the second thing you have to train them on is competence. They better know what they're doing. We live in a country where people are faking it until they make it. And in the world of sales, you cannot fake it for that long. You know, you need to build your competence. Make sure you train as much as possible. In my office, we train salespeople every week. You have to do some training, be it in prospecting, be it selling on the phone, be it referral selling, be it sales follow-up, be it, you know, meeting decision makers, and how you can be able to impress them. So you have to build competence, become a subject matter expert at what you sell, not just faking it all the time. And lastly, in sales, you have to execute. Execute, execute, execute. Execution is the breakfast of champions in the sales. Now, you have to put in the effort. If you have to make 30 phone calls a day, you better make 30 or more. You better meet those 10 people. If you have to send emails momentarily, do that. Don't procrastinate. Now, when you have a sales group that is procrastinating all the time, chances are very high that it will reflect on their performance. So, recruit for personality, train on these skills, the attitude, the competence, and the execution, and you'll have a robust sales warrior.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if these all sound like very complicated words, and heart set and soul set and so many other things, this is just a snippet of wisdom of what's to come in the second Sales Warriors Convention this January, and we'll get to that in a bit. But before we do, you talked about being able to recruit, but it's not enough. The sales profession has one of the highest attrition rates. And a lot of the people who join sales leave just as quickly compared to many other professionals.
That is true.
So how do you as a company, what's the best way to be able to not just recruit these people, but also retain them as sales talent? Because like you said, what if I train them and they leave? So how do I make sure that they stay?
You know, that's a great question, Kitu, again. Listen, and every sales managers out there watching this program, these salespeople have needs too. So the first thing I always tell our sales leaders is build trust and credibility with your people. Let them trust you. Let them think that whatever you say you'll do for them, you will do. But if you promise one thing today and tomorrow you don't do it, you know, sales is about motivation. If I'm not inspired, it's like playing football. Recently, there's this great footballer, Cristiano Ronaldo, said, if I'm motivated, I will do magic on the field. But if I am being treated in a way that I feel like it's unfair, then somehow my motivation is affected.
It reflects in the work that I do.
So sales is a sport, and it's a sport that requires a lot of trust. I gotta trust you, and you have to ensure that whatsoever we talked about, you're doing it. Let's build credibility with each other. Train me so that I know what to do. Make sure that we have that cohesion. That's the first thing. Secondly, you need to understand my need. I'm a human being, I'm a professional, I have my own personal needs. So it's not just about you pumping me every time. Go out there and sell, go out there and sell, go. But, you know, Understand what are my needs. Make sure you provide all the things that helps me with my needs. If it's tools of trade, transport, airtime, all these kind of things that helps me to perform better.
Support
provide
structures.
those. Yeah, give me those support structures. With those support structures, I'm inspired. I am ready and I have the tools that can help me to perform. So provide for my needs. And then number 3, if we promise that we're going to do something together, let's do them. But also don't just say, okay, now go to the field and sell. Sometimes let's do a market storm. Take me out there. Take me out there. Show me how you've been doing it, because you're the vision bearer or you're the head of sales. I expect that you have some, elevation in terms of skill sets. So show me the way, especially if I've just joined if I've just joined like new in the organization. Don't throw me in the middle of the ocean with sharks and expect me to swim. I don't even know how to swim. First, teach me how to swim and teach me how to dodge and navigate through, the marketplace, the market waters of sales. So teach me as much as possible. The onboarding process for most organizations is very weak. And salespeople are not treated well. They are considered as the last, segment of the organization. The HR function is supporting all these other, functionalities, but the salespeople, usually they're the last resort. But when you come to think of it, all these other departments of the organization, they thrive because of the money that salespeople bring.
That's
so
true.
it's very important that you help me as a salesperson. Give me all of the tools of trade, and make sure that I'm motivated, I'm inspired, but also show me the path of growth, and let's do it together. I want to believe that if you do that as a business owner, as a sales leader, your salespeople will become real sales warriors and train them. Bring somebody like Daniel Choudry to train them. I'm the sales warrior. I get it done.
And I will be telling you why he is the perfect person to help you with these kinds of trainings.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about it. I've been hinting on it since we started. The Sales Convention of 2023. I know it's the second one around.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about it.
So I came up with the idea of the Sales Warriors Convention back in 2018.
Wow.
I attended a training by a renowned sales consultant called Grant Cardone in the US called 10X Conference. So he had started with salespeople, but then later on he expanded it to all the other sections of business and things like that. And that convention was so inspiring, so full of fire. Like people learned, people connected, we grew, and it was really such an experience for me. So when I got back home, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the Sales Warriors Convention in Uganda.
Nice.
And of course, I'd already started calling myself the Sales Warrior back in 2016, 2015. And I'm like, what's the right title to this? I'm like, okay, it's the Sales Warriors Convention. It's about the sales warrior having the mindset of a warrior who never quits and who get things done. So that's how we started the Sales Warrior in 2019. And I was very happy that we partnered with Next Media. It was at International University of East Africa, and 800 people showed up for that event. It was incredible. It was incisive. And that's when we started it. And now we have this second one, because COVID years kind of messed it all up.
Yeah,
but the Sales Warriors Convention will be taking place every year.
Yeah.
And we pray that no pandemic comes again.
Amen to that.
We pray for that. and I'm very happy that also the Ebola issue is going away, the epidemic is going away, and that's a good thing. So every year we'll be having the Sales Warriors Convention. So next year, January 27th is a Friday. We're going to be at the legendary Kampala Serena Hotel, and we're going to be having a day to remember. We'll be fired up, ready to go. You got to be there. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. I can imagine just how much wisdom there's going to be that's going to be shared on that day.
Yes.
It's 4 years since the last one, so I'm assuming that we have collected
so
the wisdom
much,
of 4 years, and
the
we're going to
content
be sharing
is
it
going to be
then.
really incredible. And I have very incredible people that are going to be speakers. Of course, many of you know Mr. Amos Wekesa is the champion of tourism in this country. I call him Mr. Tourism in Uganda, and he's my big brother. He's going to be talking to you about networking, how using networks is critical in the life of a salesperson, and how can you leverage networking to be able to actually get, good business in. We'll be having my brother as well, Tony Otoa, is the chief executive at Stanbic Bank Business Incubator.
Yep.
He's going to be talking about pipeline development, and then how do you make sure that you build a strong pipeline that ensures that week in, week out, you're getting deals in. And a life of a salesperson, you can't do without pipeline development. So it's a critical subject we're going to talk about. Also, it's going to be talking about key accounts management. You've already brought the deal in. How do you ensure that client stays with you? Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 10. So you can be able to increase the share of wallet. We have my incredible big sister and mentor and coach, Mona Seboliba, who is the CEO for ABI Trust Financial. No, ABI Finance.
Yeah.
So they give loan facilities to different businesses in agribusiness and several other places. She's going to be talking about the personal brand, the person. How do you build a legacy in your career in sales? And that's very important because a lot of us enter sales as a by the way. You tried this job, it didn't work. You tried this one, didn't work. And then not many people actually come to sales as this is what I love, this is my passion, and I'm going to succeed. So she's going to, if you're now in sales, she's going to tell you how do you ensure that you enjoy sales and make a career, a great career out of it. And then Janet Machuka is a social media champion. She's been rated as the top 20 African women in social media, influencing and advertising. She's Kenyan, she's coming, and she's going to be talking about how do we leverage social media, be it LinkedIn, be it Twitter, be it Snapchat, be it Instagram, TikTok, all of this, Facebook. How do you leverage it to actually, build your pipeline and be a great personality in sales? And the sales warrior, myself, I'm going to be talking about the sales effectiveness drivers and several other things that makes you, be a great sales performer. I'll also talk about the motivation. How do you keep fired up, ready to go on a daily basis? What success routines do you need on a daily basis to ensure that you are that powerful, towering sales warrior in the market out there?
Wonderful. If your numbers were struggling this year, 2023 is here to save you. And I'm hoping that you'll save the date and make sure that you're part of the Sales Warriors Convention of 2023.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be sharing more details about that. But give us a message. I know that if we give you a chance to sell on TV, you'll sell and you'll even probably take my job. Give us your message, your final message this morning.
So my final message to all of you viewers, and thank you first of all for tuning in. Selling is one of the critical skills in life. You may not be a natural salesperson, but listen, all of us, we have gotten ahead in life because of sales. You are a judge, you are in the legal fraternity. Sales, give you these deals that you get. You're a doctor. Selling plays a huge role. You are a trader somewhere downtown in Kampala or wherever you are in other parts of Uganda. Selling plays a huge role. As a matter of fact, all of us, we exist because our parents, they were able to do a good sales conversation, and that's why we're here. So do not take sales as, these are sales people, they're liars. These sales people, they're crooks. Not necessarily. Every single day as we engage people, we are selling something. As a leader, you're selling your ideas to your team so that you can be able to appreciate and work with you. So let's not take sales as, for those salespeople, those hawkers. Sales is not hawking. Sales is not just for certain categories of people. All of us need to sell. So I want to invite all of you on Friday, 27th January 2023. Let's all move to Kampala Serena Hotel. The tickets are already on sale. Even here at Next Media, you can get them at 150,000 shillings. That is the early bird ticket up to the 31st of this month. So get your ticket now so that you can be a part of this revolutionary, life-changing experience. You need this, I tell you. And I'll tell you, all the speakers will do a tantalizing job. I promise you that. So be a part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just
and I want to send my
reiterate,
greetings to my daughter, Chantal. She's watching right now.
Superb.
I love you, and I always got your back.
A future sales warrior, I'm sure.
Oh, she's amazing.
Just to reiterate, it's happening on the 27th of January 2023. It's at the Kampala Serena Hotel, and it is the Sales Warriors Convention of 2023. Come, let's help you with hitting your targets and help you make your numbers make sense. Don't be one of those that's just hanging on. So join us next year at the very start of the year as we help you with your numbers. Joined on the show this morning by Daniel Choudry, who is the founder and director of the Daniel Choudry Sales Institute.
Yeah.
It's a global sales training, coaching, and consultancy institution. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us this morning. How do I get in touch? How does somebody get in touch with you for more details and more information, not just about the sales convention, but about sales in general?
Great. So you can reach us on our website, www. I know I'm not supposed to say that part, but let me say it. www.dcsalesinstitute.co.ug. So that's the website, but the email also is info@dcsalesinstitute.co.ug, or Tracy, Tracy, Tracy @dcsalesinstitute.co.ug. And I want to thank my team as well, Tracy, Bonnie, Ria, Ilda, Dawn. I want to thank all of them. Penny, there are quite many, so I cannot really say much.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say thank you. Let's keep fighting, guys. Let's get this done.
All right, great. Thank you so much for joining me, Daniel.
Yeah.
If you joined us on the show this morning, I'd like to wish you a beautiful and bright week.
Can I say thank you to you as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to you, Choudry, to NBS. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Pepsi, Kampala Serena Hotel, Starbucks, Finca, Movit. So there are quite a number of sponsors. I want to say thank you to them for coming through for us. We can never take it for granted.
You can keep following that conversation and the hashtag SourCon2023 and give us feedback. You'll find more details there on how to purchase your ticket, whether it's early bird or even at the gate. And all of that is for the sales convention, the Sales Warriors Convention of 2023. Choudry Flo is my name. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us. Have a lovely morning.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day and a great week ahead.
The festive season is